So we are going to see what is constructor overriding. We have already seen the constructor overloading. So constructor overloading was having two constructors in one program or more than one constructor in a single program. We call it as constructor overloading. For example, if you have taken one program and in that you have default constructor also and parameterized constructor also. In that case, we call it as a constructor overloading. So now we are going to see what is constructor overriding. So as we know, constructor is a special member function. Constructor gets automatically invoked when object is created. Now in inheritance, usually we create object for only a derived class. So now if the base class has default constructor, then it will get automatically called on object creation of derived class. So this is the concept of constructor overriding. Now see here, this is an example of constructor overriding. Now one class has been taken called as base class. In the class base, a constructor is defined, a function is defined with a name same as class name. So we call it this as a constructor. And this is a default constructor. Now another class is taken named as derived and it is extended from base class. So in the derived class, there is also a function called as derived. We call this as a constructor. Now if you may observe that in the base class also there is a constructor. In the derived class also there is a constructor. So when we create an object in the main class, we create the object of derived class. So if you are using a constructor in base class as well as in derived class, then when you are giving a call or when you are creating an object of derived class, then you no need to give a call to the constructor of base class. So when you will create an object of derived class, it will automatically give a call to a base class constructor as well as derived class constructor. So this is the concept of method overriding. Okay. So this is the simple example of overriding. So the only difference between overloading and overriding is in overloading, methods are defined with same name but different argument in class. And in the overriding, methods are defined with same signature in base class and derived class. So here in the overriding, we will be having a base class as well as a derived class. But in overloading, there will be a single class. There will be no base class or derived class. And in the overloading, if we use static or non-static data, that is also fine. But in the overriding, it is possible for non-static method also. It is not possible for static fields. Overriding is not possible for static fields or static variable. So this was the example of default constructor. Now let's see an example of parameterized constructor. A default constructor, this base class constructor is a default constructor. So let's see one example for parameterized constructor also. So now I'm taking one class called as base. In that I'm taking one variable int a and I'm giving a call to a base class constructor. In that I'm taking int z as a parameter. And now I'm saying I've taken a one constructor as a base. Inside that I am taken a parameter int z, and I'm saying a is equal to z. And inside that I'm printing the value of a. So this is my one class. Now I'm taking another class called as derived, and I'm extending with base class. In the derived class, I'm again taking a variable int b, and then I'm giving a call to a derived class constructor. Inside that, I'm taking a parameter int x and int y. Okay, so I'm saying b is equal to y, and I'm printing the value of b. Okay, now in this case, in the derived class, I want to give a call to this base class function. Now what we say, when we create an object of derived class, it will automatically give a call to base class as well as derived class parameter constructors. So now if suppose I want this method to come into a derived class, now see this base class method, okay? In the class base, there is a base class method, and I want that method to come into a derived class. Then we have a keyword called as super, super. Now what this super keyword do? Super x, I am writing here super x. So this means it will give a call, the super keyword which we are using into derived class constructor, it will give a call to a base class methods. So this x will now store the base class methods data. Okay, this x will now store base class method data. So see, I will create an object. I will take one another class. In that I'm writing public static void main string args, and now I'm creating an object of derived class. Okay, so derived class, again you may see that derived class have two parameters. So I'm giving 10 comma 20, and I will close the class. I will save the class, and let's run this class. So I'm writing java c this. We required one more bracket to be completed. Okay, there are no any errors. Let's see what output we get. See, now I'm getting A is 10 and B is 20. So this means with the help of derived class, we have accessed this base class method by using super keyword. So super keyword will be used to access the base class methods. Okay. So this is the concept of overriding with the help of parameterized constructor. And default constructor, only simple without creating any object, we can give a call to our methods. See, this is the simple example of constructor overriding in default class. Default constructor. This was the simple example of default constructor overriding. And then we have seen the parameterized constructor overriding. So now we will see method overriding. So let's see what is this method overriding. Now in method overloading, multiple methods are defined in class with same name but different argument. Method overloading, the concept of overloading is, suppose I have a class, okay? Class A. Now in that class A, there will be void display void display, three functions together. For example, let me show you. Suppose I have taken one class ABC, and in that class ABC, there is a function called as void display. Okay. Now there is another function with same name, void display only, but there are parameters changing. And again, there is another display function. Okay. So if this is the case, in single program, we have multiple functions with same name, but different argument. See, argument is different. Here int a, here int x and int y. Here it could be a float y. Okay. So if this is the case, having same name, but different arguments. Argument is nothing but the parameters. If this is so, then we call it as a method overloading. Okay, we call it as method overloading. You might have learned this into a OOP or C++. So this is the concept of method overloading. Now we are going to see what is method overriding. So method overriding means methods with same signature are defined in base and derived class. So let's see what does this means. Now see, method overriding concept, okay? So we'll see the method overriding. Now I have a class base, and in that class base, I'm taking a function void display. Okay, I have taken a function void display, and in that void display, I'm printing something. Yeah, I have printed something in that void display. Similarly, I have a derived class. And in derived class also, there is a function with same name, void display only. The thing is, I am just printing something different. Okay, so now you might observe that there is class base. In that, there is a void display function. Similarly, in class derived also, there is a void display function. So if this is the case, and I have created an object of derived class, then will be my program will get run or not. And with the help of that derived class object, I have given a call to a display function. Okay. D.display. Now tell me, will be there any errors, or it will run without error? What I did in base class, I have given a call. I have defined a function called as void display. In a derived class also, I have defined a function void display. And I have created an object of derived class. And I have only given a call to D.display. Now, how I will understand this D.display is calling which function? Whether it is calling a base class function or whether it is calling a derived class function, right? There will be an ambiguity. Means this D.display function, we will not understand whether it is a base class function or it is a derived class function, right? So what I will do, in the derived class, I will write super dot display. Now this super dot display, what it will do? It will helps us to give a call to a base class method. It will call to a base method, like this void method display. Base class method it will call, and then it will run its current method. So this super keyword will help us to give a call to a other class methods. Okay. So this is the simple example of method overriding. how to override the methods. Then with the help of super keyword, we can override the methods. So let's run this code. Now see, it is displaying, hi, I am Sharvali and I am from KITCUIK. So you will now understand this, hi, I am Sharvali was in first display, that is base class display function. And another one, I am from KITCUIK, is in the second class display function. So we have given a call to a first display function into this derived class with the help of super.display. So this super keyword will helps us to override the methods of another class. Okay, so this concept we call it as method overriding. See, in this class, the derived class object can call only derived class method. So if you want to call base class overridden method, we use a super keyword. This is very important. So if you want to call a base class function which is having same name that of derived class function, then we have to use a super keyword. So this example is of method overriding. Now next we are going to see the use of super keyword. So as we have already seen what is super keyword. So the use of super keyword is to call base class parameterized constructor into a derived class, as we have seen in the parameterized constructor overriding. So if you want to give a base class parameterized constructor into a derived class, we use a super keyword. Even to call base class overridden methods into a derived class, like we see in the previous method overriding, that if you have a same function name in base class as well as into a derived class, then we give a call to a base class function with the help of super keyword. Or sometimes the data member of a class base and derived may have same name. So in that case also, base class data member and a derived class data member, if we have to access, we uses the super keyword. So let me show this also. Now see, one class base is taken and one data member is declared into a class base. Then class derived is taken, which extends the base class. Again, into a derived class also there is int a, and one function is taken, void display. Now value of a is assigned as 10. Okay, value of a is assigned as 10. Now I want to access the base class a also. So if I want to access the base class a, then with the help of super keyword, I will write super.a is equal to 5. And then I will print the value of super.a into the derived class only. And this a will be my current class data member. And then I will create an object and I will give a call to that display method. So my data member will access with the help of super.a. Let me show you with example also. Now see, in this class A, I am taking one variable int a. Okay. And in class XYZ, I'm taking one variable int a. So now you will see that int a is also in class ABC. Int a is also in class XYZ. Now what I'm doing is, into the void display function, I'm writing a is equal to 10. Now this a is equal to 10, as it is a local data member. So the scope of this will be only related to this class. But now I want to access this A, which is outside the class of XYZ. So if you want to access the base class data member, then I have to write super dot A is equal to 20. And now I will print the values of A and B. So how to print the values of A and B? Just by writing I will write current class A. And if I want to access the base class A, then super.a. Okay. So now I have saved this. I will run the code. See. Okay, see what I did. Class in class A, ABC, I have int A. And in XYZ, I have int A. Then in the display function, I have assigned the value A to 10. And then I have given a base class A call to a base class A with the help of super.a. I will write here. This means accessing base class data member. Okay, accessing base class data member. And then I have just printed both the A's with the help of super.a. Now I will create an object of XYZ class. And I have given a call to a display function. So I will run this code. See, it is giving current class A is 10 and base class A is 20. So this is the simple example with the help of super keyword. So if you want to access the base class constructor or base class data members into a derived class, then we have to compulsory use the super keyword. And this concept we call as overriding. I hope you all have understood this. So now we are going to see is final class and final variable. So when a class is declared with a final keyword, it is called as a final class. Like for example, you have a class ABC. Okay. Suppose you have a class A and I'm declaring that class with a final keyword, then that class I will call it as a final class. So a final class cannot be extended, means we cannot inherit that class. Like you do a class based extends, class XYZ extends ABC. But that ABC class is declared with final keyword, then we cannot inherit that. Okay. And similarly for final variables also. So final variable are those variable whose value does not change throughout the program. So if you declared a value as a final, then it will not change in the program. So this is the simple use of final class and final keyword. So let's see the example of final class and keyword also. Similarly, we have a final methods. So if some methods are declared as final, we call them as a final methods. And these methods will cannot be overridden by any class. Means we cannot take that methods. Let me show you with an example. Now suppose I have taken one class ABC. Inside that ABC, I am taking one method called as final void display. Okay, this is my method. Inside that, I'm just printing something. Okay, I've printed something. Then I'm taking one another class XYZ, which is extending ABC. In that also there is one method called as void display. In that void display, I want to give a call to my base class method. How should I give a call to a base class method? Yes. Suppose I have written a void display into a XYZ. Now I want to give a call to this base class method. How should I give a call to the base class method into a derived class? Yes, students, how can I give a call to a base class method into a derived class? With the help of super keyword. So I will write super dot display. I have written super dot display. Then I have created an object of the class, and I will be calling that class. Okay, I have given a call to that class. Now see this, as we have written this method as final, it will not run the program because we had written this keyword as a final. Let me show you. See, I will run this code. See, it is showing the error that display in XYZ cannot override display in ABC because overridden method is final. So that if you are using or if you are taking a method which is final, if it is declared as a method, then we cannot override that method into any class. So that we call it as a final method. Similarly, if I declare a class as a final, and then I'm extending that class in ABC. See, class XYZ extends ABC. But we know that ABC class is final. So it will not run the code. What error we get? See, there is error. This errors we get because we cannot override the methods. The override methods, we cannot override this. Class XYZ extends ABC cannot inherit from final ABC. It is displaying the output as cannot inherit from final ABC because the class is declared as final. So this is the use of final class and final methods. Similarly, if you are using a final variable, then we cannot change the value of that variable because it is declared as a final. So I hope you have understood this final methods and final keywords. If you have any doubts, you can put it into a chat box. So today we have seen constructor overriding, method overriding, super keyword, and final variables, final methods, and final class. I hope you have understood all these concepts.